It's very difficult, dare I say virtually impossible, to make a fine, objective assessment of a player who's been a legend. And I think that is where we're all struggling with MS Dhoni. You try and make an objective assessment, you look at strike rates, you look at averages, and inevitably you compare Dhoni to the Dhoni that he was, and that is unfair because in the twilight of your career you're never going to be the player that you were, but then you've set the standards yourself, so that's difficult to do. Or you can get taken in by the aura, you can react to him like a fan and live in denial at reality and then start getting very prickly with people who have an even mildly contrarian point of view, and that is the other side of the debate with MS Dhoni today. But one thing is now absolutely clear. MS Dhoni needs deliveries and he needs time. Those two are his friends. In the absence of those two, he's struggling and he enjoys the one-day game far more than he does the T20 game. He comes in the T20 game. I mean, he's been a master of that format as well. And he knows exactly what to do, but sometimes the body tells him, hang on, I'm not quite ready yet for the speed at which your mind is going. And that is why he's at his best in T20 internationals where he's got time. We saw that in Sri Lanka in the two games in Pallekele and in Colombo as well. But there was Bhuvneshwar Kumar who was taking the lead towards the end. There was Virat Kohli alongside him. When he's got to get runs quickly, Dhoni is still struggling. In a 280 game in Mumbai, he got 25 or 42 balls. But then why are we talking about Dhoni all of a sudden? And that is because of that innings in Rajkot. The fans will look at it and say, look, he made 49 of 36, 37 balls. Everybody else was struggling. The asking rate was indeed 12 and over when Dhoni came in. And at one point he was 27 of 27. That was 27 runs conceded straight away. Kohli at the other end was batting like only Virat Kohli in this form can. And in a 44-ball partnership, Dhoni had 24 balls. He only made 25 out of those. And India reached a position very quickly where it was almost impossible to win. And so the questions start again. Is Dhoni still the player that he was? I think opposition bowlers have figured him out. They bring on the left-arm spinner when he comes in. He's struggling a bit with the wrist spinner. Even Ish Sodhi had him down the wicket and almost stumped once, but the wicket-keeper missed that. So people now know where to bowl to him. They bowl fast and into his body. And where earlier Dhoni was the master of the single and rotating the strike, now Dhoni is consuming dot balls. Dhoni still knows how to play the game, but I'm not quite sure he has the ability now to go out there and finish it like he did in the past. In the past, you knew that if Dhoni consumed deliveries, he would end with a strike rate of 90 or 100 or in T20 even beyond. So what's the future for MS Dhoni? I think his future as a one-day international batsman is still secure, but I do think he needs to bat at 4 or 5 where the number of deliveries becomes his friend otherwise. In T20, I think he needs to reinvent himself, and Dhoni's been such a champion, such a legend. Nobody understands the limited overs game as well as he does. So maybe he will still come back and discover a way to play in T20 cricket, and that is what all his fans, including the one you're hearing just now or watching just now, are hoping will happen. And so I think this year's IPL is going to be a big test for Dhoni, the T20 player. He's only got 3 games against Sri Lanka before this, but I'll be very keen to see in the IPL, away from the pressure of winning every single game as an India player, I want to see how Dhoni reinvents his T20 game. Otherwise, we might well see a situation where Dhoni says, I'll only play one-day international cricket. There, I've done it. It wasn't easy to do because I've been a colossal admirer of MS Dhoni, but I do believe he's coming to the end as a T20 player.